It's rear main seal time, so I got the engine on the hoist or close to it so that I can get it off the stand and access the rear main seal back there. Right, got the engine off the stand. I'm gonna clean this up just a little bit and then we'll put the plate on. All right, got it mostly cleaned up. Got the little plate cleaned up as well. Pulled these dowel pins so I could clean the mating surface. Used some vice grips, kind of messed them up a little bit. Tried to sand them down, put them back in, so it might be a little tight fit. But I got some RTV and some gasket, paper gasket, so I'm gonna do the same thing I've been doing and just put a little RTV on both sides of the gasket and torque it down. These little cutouts out of the gasket. Maybe I'll do this first. I'm gonna clean out this little tube because I just used it earlier and I think it already dried out. In order to try and not line up with the groove already on the crank, I'm gonna leave this oil seal out maybe a couple millimeters, not completely inside flush with the little stops. Do that. I'm gonna put a little bit of glass cleaner on here so it slides in. Gonna use the old rear main seal as a little drift, and then hopefully this block of wood right here to hold all that. Not working. All right, attempt number 2.
Two rear mains back to back. Not exactly the way I wanted it to go in. I might end up just pushing it all the way in because I think I didn't get it straight, so see if we just get the whole thing flush here. If it leaks, it leaks. Rear main is done.
All right, we are back on the engine stand, about to put the oil pan on. I need to clean up these two little areas on the where the oil pump mates to the block, where I used some RTV, and then over here where I just did the rear main seal. I'm gonna clean that up just a little bit too. All right, we're real close, ready to go. Just gonna give it one more wipe.
With some clean towels, snapping skid towels, especially on this bottom side. All the oil leaking and dripping out. Wipe that just so no oil drips on our work area. And we'll also wipe the pan one more time.
And the dipstick is out, so we don't have to worry about that getting caught in the crank. And we're gonna do the same thing. In the service manual it says to only put some sealant, I think, on these mating surfaces between the rear main seal and the block and the oil pump in the block. But I'm gonna go ahead and RTV the whole thing.
Gasket sealer applied, gasket maker sealer sealant. Big rubber oil pan gasket, relatively clean. I don't think I'm gonna go over that with the finger in my glove or anything. We're just gonna lay this on here, and hopefully it'll be enough to stick with the dog hair out of the motor.
Hope everything under here is torqued, cause we're going on. Pan got a little bit of goop all over it. Hopefully it's enough to seal. Pan gasket looks good. Just need to not move it like that when I'm going on. Maybe stand up, pay attention to what I'm doing. That shouldn't interfere with anything in there. All right, pan placed. See if we can get some screws in here.
1, 2.
All right, install oil pan, 5 to 7 Newton meters. Looks like we just start there in the middle and crisscross and work our way out. So let's get this done. All right, all the oil pan bolts are threaded. So all we gotta do is torque them to 7 Newton meters There's 18 of them, so it's gonna take a minute. I'm gonna go get the quarter inch. 7 Newton meters.
Alright, this one's already at 7. Let's keep going around. Oil pan is on and torqued, hopefully sealed. I'm not sure what I do next now.
All right, about to be installing the lower intake manifold. Got it all set up here. I am having a little issue with the little elbow. There's a couple little splits in there. I don't know if this was from the angle I had it on from before or whatever, but I did try and trim the bottom and the top right here to get a little bit better angle and not get so much of a kink. I think that's what was happening. There is like a couple layers in here, 2 layers of like the woven cord or whatever, so I'm just gonna put this back on and deal with it when it leaks. All right, install intake manifold and fuel tube. Tighten in 2 or 3 stages, 3 to 5 Newton meters, and then 24 to 27 Newton meters. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, got all the mating surfaces prepped on the heads and on the lower intake manifold, cleaned them off as best I could. I'm gonna be using some FailPro gaskets, just where I could find quick. I think I am going to use some silicone on both sides of them, just because there's a few imperfections in the mating surfaces, and when I was kind of test fitting it, there was a little bit of movement, so just to help it seal. So we'll go ahead and put all this on now.
So just got a real light coat. Just gonna spread it out a little bit. Give it some ridges so it'll maybe make a seal. Who knows if this is gonna work? Alright, one's ready to go. And it's on. Let's give it a little tap down there. No turning back now, because it's going to be a lot of work to clean all that off. And this one goes like this, so I'll start with this side. Probably should just even done both sides on the other one too. Alright, put this one on and go like this. And also need to do this side. Alright, we should be good to go. Nothing to it but to do it. Alright, both gases on, all the paper towels removed from the inlet ports. Got the clamp on there ready for the hose. I think we're ready. I do have some paper towels in the lower intake manifold, keep things from falling in there. And I do have a little bit of a tough time sliding it down over the studs for some reason, probably because they're bent. It's a little tricky to get this hose in the front on. But there it is, hose clamp. Is up on the hose. Now, push this down. Alright, possibly better angle on this little elbow hose onto the lower intake manifold. I think we're seated pretty well, not noticing any imperfections in the or any movement in there, so we're going to go ahead and try to torque it down.
All right, so the studs are already in, got the washers in. For the studs, I'm gonna put these 12 millimeter nuts on. You got 12 millimeter nuts and 6 millimeter Allen heads for the bolts. Run these down, just get them snug. All right, get the torque wrench. 5 Newton meters where we'll start at. You start here and just work your way out. So this torque wrench only goes down to 6.8 Newton meters, so we'll just start there. I guess I could look and see that it says 5. we'll do that. That's set about 5 or 6. So 1, we're just going a crisscross pattern towards the outside. That's about 6 Newton meters.
And we'll go across 6 Newton meters. 6 Newton meters. Oops, too much. Alright, second stage. 27 Newton meters. Got a 12mm socket. Start right here. Ooh, baby. I'm about to strip everything out. Oh no. We got another 1, 2, 3, 4. Great place for a socket is on the ground. 5. Oh, shit. Alright, I think we're good to go. We're going to take that up. And I really need to tighten this hose clamp on the bottom over here. So, there's the 2 cracks in my hose, so it should be nice and easy to see when it leaks. And then this is the one on the bottom, a little tricky to get to. No, we'll just go ahead and tighten this up. Maybe we'll tighten it up. There it goes. I think that's probably a little too tight, but might come revisit. But at least it shouldn't leak from the clamps. We're going to take manifold installed.